What a day for softball on Staten Island. Perfect weather and a matchup between the last two champions in the PSAL. For now, we'll see who can pass the test in the regular season. Madison has made the trip from Brooklyn over the Verrazano Bridge to take on Tottenville here on MSG Varsity. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Carly Blake. So here we go. It's the Pirates and the Knights. Tottenville's won 7 of the last 8 PSAL championships. That one loss 2 years ago in extras against Madison.
This has become such an incredible rivalry. Madison won in 2010 in 8 innings. Last year, a 10-inning thriller. Tottenville winning 1-0. What an incredible matchup. I'm excited for it.
If Madison's going to win this one here today, they need a great game from their shortstop, Gina Jerome. She wears number 2. She plays the shortstop position. She fashions herself like Derek Jeter.
Oh, she's incredible. The senior captain is really such a leader, batting over 600. Her coach tells us she's everything that you want in a shortstop. And just like Jeter, she loves to dive and get dirty. 2011, she was All-City, and this year featured in MSG Varsity's magazine.
Jerome hitting .682, 3 homers, 18 RBI so far for James Madison. Well, the matchup today against the pitcher for Tottenville, that's Cheryl Lopez. And what a start in the pitcher's circle. Lopez in PSAL play, 1 walk, 49 strikeouts.
She's killing it already this year, and last year she truly showed us 10 innings, no earned runs, just an incredible pitcher. And this year, 5-0, a 0.00 ERA. She is just a finesse pitcher. She likes to move the ball around. And last year, 2011, all Staten Island.
Great play in the pitcher's circle, also very strong at the plate, hitting .429 for the Pirates. Well, you have to go back to 2006. That was the last time Tottenville lost a league game in the regular season. We'll see if Madison can pull it off here today on Staten Island. It's James Madison. It's Tottenville. A huge game in New York City on MSG Varsity. In Staten Island, James Madison and Tottenville both undefeated in PSAL play, the last two champions in New York City. Let's meet the head coach of James Madison, a former Knight himself, Brian Friedman. First year as head coach, replaced Jeff Meltzer. He's the 3rd head coach for James Madison in the last 4 years. He's 23 years old. And here is the lineup for the Knights in this huge game on the road here on Staten Island. Brianna DePasquale leading things off, followed by Victoria Slavic. Gina Jerome bats 3rd. Samantha Rodriguez in the cleanup spot. Jenny Hosty batting 5th. Falonza Hawkeye in the 6th spot. Janelle Garvey at 3rd base bats 7th. Samantha Rehill batting 8th. And the pitcher, Cheyenne Tatasciore, rounds out the order for James Madison. He'll be facing Cheryl Lopez, who we talked about. And Lopez having a terrific year in PSAL play. Lopez, the junior, 5-0. No earned runs allowed. 21 innings, just 1 run total. And the strikeouts and walks say it all in terms of getting out there and throwing strikes.
Absolutely. She's going to come out here. She's going to mix up her pitches. She loves to throw a lot of different pitches, curve, screw, rise. She's a power and a finesse pitcher, so that spells trouble for anybody facing her.
Brianna DePasquale stands in, the junior playing 2nd base, and what a start to this year, hitting .591. Reached up high, trying to get it down with the bunt, and the count is 0-1. So DePasquale, Slavic, and Jerome here in the Madison 1st inning, and trying to set a tone against someone who set a tone all year long in the pitcher's circle, Cheryl Lopez.
It's going to be very difficult to face her. You see, she's got it all written all over her face. Nothing but pitcher. She's very focused. She comes right at DePasquale with a high fastball. She's not afraid of anybody. And you see a riser right there, got a little out of control. She's going to move the ball around. She's going to go inside, outside. She's not going to be afraid of anybody in the lineup.
1-1. Another fastball. DePasquale got a piece. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Right now, DePasquale is going to be trying to look for something out over the plate. Unfortunately, I don't see Lopez giving it to her, but she's going to have to battle here and cover anything that's over the plate.
Cheryl Lopez, known for her changeup, curveball, her screwball, and of course the rising fastball, which she's brought a couple of times. In the dirt there. And a full count on DePasquale to start this 1st inning for James Madison.
You're going to see a riser a lot today, but unfortunately, because it's so warm, it's going to slip out of her hand as it did earlier, but that time it worked perfectly.
So Lopez with her first strikeout, her 50th in PSAL play, and there's one down for James Madison. Let's take a look at Tottenville in the field behind Cheryl Lopez. Jennifer Place is the catcher. Ramirez at first, Nataro second base, Jillian Regan at short, Felicetti at third, Jeffrey, Casal, and Bellini, your outfielders for Tottenville. There's a liner into left field for Victoria Slavic. So she gets a piece of that 0-1 pitch, and she's aboard with one out here in the Madison first.
She didn't try to do too much with that. That was an outside pitch, looked like a screwball, which is very common to throw against the lefty, and she just lined it into left field. See, she's going outside with the pitch, screwball, and she just goes with it. Doesn't try to pull it, just pushes it into right field. This ball is going to move very fast today on this turf.
That's the table for Miss Jerome. And she takes ball one. Look at first, Slavic was back there. And she really sets the tone for this James Madison team. And look at her stand in the box, just like Mr. Jeter.
She puts her hand up there, ready. She's ready to go. She's got this intensity that's rivaling Lopez right now. She's even wearing number 2.
Easy choice, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Chop towards first. It is a foul ball. 2 balls and a strike on Gina Giron. One out for James Madison here in the top of the first inning. And Slavic on at first base with the 1-out single.
You see here with Giron, she's got a very compact stance, which is actually very smart with a faster pitcher. When you're facing Lopez, this ball's probably going into the low 60s. Very hard to get your bat around. Keep a compact stance, just like Derek Jeter.
Go to first. Slavic got back in time.
See, Police is on her toes right now.
Three balls and a strike on Giron. Lopez delivers. Fights it off to first. The catch is made. Back at first base. The throw gets away. And Slavic will stay put. So Ramirez handles that pop out for the second out. And that'll bring up Samantha Rodriguez.
That was a good heads-up play right there. Ramirez comes running up to the ball. It could have dropped very easily in there. It would have been a foul ball, but she makes a heads-up play, throwing it back to Nataro, but she just wasn't at the bag in time.
Rodriguez has had a very strong year with the bat. Chases that one, throw to second base. No one's there. Slavic has the stolen base. And the good thing is Casal was backing up in center field, so a runner in scoring position with 2 down. And a chance here for Rodriguez with an 0-1 count.
It's a very heads-up play by Casal. Police has a fantastic arm, and what happens is Reagan just cannot get there in time. She's just got to give it ever so slightly another second to get that ball down there.
Swing and a miss. Lopez really has command of her fastball, at least so far she has.
And you see she's moving very quickly. She gets to the rubber very quickly. Police throws the ball back to her at lightning speed. It keeps the game moving fast.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Samantha Rodriguez. Senior catcher's done such a great job with the sophomore who we'll see in the pitcher's circle, Cheyenne Tatasciore. Lopez has the grip, just missed inside, 2-2.
She went there with the changeup. She moves her pitches around. It seems like her 1-2 out pitch is either her changeup or a rise. You see probably now she'll go with the riser or a pitch outside. She doesn't want to give her too much. Looks like she went with the curveball there. She's showing a lot of respect for Samantha Rodriguez, who's got an incredible amount of power.
Jenny Hosty also has power. It's a terrific 4-5 punch for James Madison, and Hosty's on deck if Rodriguez can keep it going. In the dirt, 3-2 the count with Slavic staying at second base, and a big opportunity now for James Madison. First base is open. Payout pitch, and first base open no longer. Rodriguez with the 2-out walk.
Again, you saw an incredible amount of respect. She went from the riser to the changeup, back to the riser, back to the changeup. She did not want to put that ball anywhere in Samantha Rodriguez's wheelhouse. That ball would have gone far.
Could go far this time, too. Here's Hosty. Lays off ball 1. So you have 2 on with 2 out. Lopez has been terrific in PSAL play, allowing just 5 hits before this one. She's already allowed 1 this inning. And the count's now 1-1 on Jenny Hosty.
See, she was moving fast before. Now she's taking an extra second to slow herself down, make sure she gets the ball where she wants it. She showed us there her drop ball, trying to mix it up a little bit, see if Hosty's going to take a poke at it.
4 homers, 10 RBIs, and she was looking for a big swing right there. 2-2.
Right there, she definitely had her riser. It didn't rise too high, but what happened is Hosty took her head off the ball ever so slightly.
Runners trying to advance. The throw to third is not in time. So Slavic moves up a base, as does Rodriguez. And with first base now open, the count full on Hosty. 2 in scoring position. And we'll see how Cheryl Lopez responds. Check swing, stays alive at 3-2.
Not afraid to go high and tight there. I like that. Pitchers are often afraid to go on the inside to a batter with the fear that you're going to hit the batter. But I like that Lopez is going right at her, not afraid at all.
Another payout pitch, another foul. So we'll do it again. Slavic at third. Came through with a 1-out single, stole second. And advanced to third on the ball that got away from Palace. Rodriguez at second. Jumped foul again, and we'll do it one more time, Carly.
This is a great matchup here. It's true power versus power. Looks like Hosty may have actually hit that ball right off her foot, which can be very painful.
29 pitches this inning for Cheryl Lopez. Golfed into shallow right. Tough play in the sun, but the running catch is made by Bellini, and Lopez escapes a jam in the first. No runs for James Madison on 1 hit. They leave 2 in scoring position. On to the bottom of the first. Tottenville coming up. To the bottom of the first here on Staten Island. An adventurous start to this contest, but Cheryl Lopez working out of trouble. And now it's Tottenville looking to respond at the plate. There is Kathy Morano, head coach of the Pirates, 15 years, and simply put, what a run here at Tottenville.
Just one of the best coaches you'll ever see in the program in the Tri-State.
Lineup for the Pirates here in the bottom of the first inning. Jen Palace, the catcher. Cheryl Lopez, Nicole Felicetti at third base batting third. Jillian Regan, the shortstop, in the cleanup spot. Nyla Ramirez batting fifth. Ashley Notaro in the sixth spot. Jillian Jeffrey in left field batting seventh. Nicole Bellini made that great catch to end the top of the first, batting eighth. Krista Casal in center rounds out the lineup. Cheyenne Tanashore, the sophomore, has really picked things up this season. The numbers speak for themselves. 6-0, no earned runs, 28 innings, 39 strikeouts, only 17 walks. And then you consider she's only a sophomore.
Yeah, and she's learning as she goes. This is her first year starting behind Kayla Hill last year. She's an outstanding pitcher, but she's learning her fastball inside outside, and she's working on a changeup.
The pitcher against the catcher. Jen Palace hitting .545 in the leadoff spot. Well in front of home, ball one. Now, we called the game James Madison against New Utrecht a couple weeks ago, and the first two batters Tanashore faced, she walked them, and she struck out the next three. At one point in that game, she retired 11 straight.
That's not uncommon. You know, a pitcher has to get into their groove, just like a batter, just like a fielder. Sometimes it takes a little longer for them to find that groove. It may take two batters, it may take one, it may not take any at all.
Well, here's the third pitch. Maybe a couple of pitches as well. 3-0 the count.
Yeah, she's trying. She's showing a lot of respect for Police. She's attempting to throw a couple of her changeups. They're just falling short. She's got to go with what she knows, which is her fastball.
It's a strike as Palace was taking, so 3-1 the count. Brian Friedman has really worked with Cheyenne Tanashore. He a pitcher himself at James Madison, graduated in 2006, and a lineup. Garvey was right there playing in, so Palace is retired, one down in the Tottenville first. Let's check out the defense for the Lady Knights. Sam Rodriguez catching. Hosty at first. To Pasquale at second. Jerome at short. Garvey at third. As Lopez fouls the first pitch off. Hawkeye, Slavic, and Rehill in the outfield for the Lady Knights. The 0-1's bounced in front of home. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lopez reaches. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tatashore took her 3 pitches to get going, but she retires Palace and now ahead of Lopez.
Now you see her moving her fastball around a little much. She's throwing it a little bit higher, trying almost to put a rise on it.
And there she goes with the liner through the left side. Lopez is on, thinking about 2, but Danielle Muley in left field was able to recover and keep her to a single with 1 down.
She just lines as Lopez takes it right into left field, and you see this field is going to cause problems. Muley just bobbles it ever so slightly. This is a very difficult turf to play on. It's like playing on a trampoline. The ball's going to bounce very hard.
Genevieve Butchergrass is running for Lopez at first, and here's Nicole Filicetti. Takes ball 1. Now going back to your playing days, and you start at the College of New Jersey, when you approach a field like this where the turf is hard and they're just cutouts, what do you need to do to adjust?
You know, it depends on the position. As a catcher, I rarely had to deal with that. I was always in the dirt, but as a fielder, you have to give yourself a step back because that ball is going to bounce, and you don't want it to bounce in your face.
1 ball and 1 strike. Filicetti into shallow right center. Catch is made by Slavic, and she looks back. Butchergrass, 2 down for Tottenville. A nice job to handle the sun and the warm weather. What a different day for weather here in Monday of mid-April.
Yeah, you see that Slavic has to fight that sun. She's running all the way, but she does not lose it. She sees it the entire way into her glove.
Runner on, 2 down. Regan takes ball 1. Jillian Regan hitting .625. Sophomore shortstop. Ooh, watch out.
Don't touch that, Coach. That is fast hands right there. That shows you how fast her hands are going through the strike zone. Just a bit ahead of it. Regan's got a lot of power, batting over .600 already this season.
1-1, looped, foul again down the left field line, but she's turned those hands again, trying to pull the ball down the left field line.
What Regan needs to do is right now she needs to sit back a little bit and wait for the pitch to come to her. The ball's a little bit slower than she's used to, so she needs to sit back and not over pull the ball.
1-2 again. Foul down the third base side. Now Regan playing at shortstop. Moved from first base, played shortstop and travel ball, has filled in at first base when needed.
Absolutely. Her coach feels that she can play anywhere where she's needed. Her strong suit is shortstop, but last year they needed her at first base and she stepped up.
Will it be playable? Down the left field line, it is a foul ball. So 4 consecutive foul balls to the left side. And it remains a ball and 2 strikes on Jillian Regan.
What she really needs to do again is step back in the batter's box. Let the ball come to her, and that ball will straighten out a little bit as the ball comes back in.
Tatashore will take the original ball in play as it's returned from another field here at Tottenville.
Pitchers are very odd when it comes to what ball they want to use.
Popped up into left center, and Slavic makes her way to her right to make the catch and retire the side. No runs on 1 hit for Tottenville. Pirates leave 1, and we are scoreless through 1. On to the second on Staten Island. On to the second here at Tottenville High School. Last 2 PSAL champions. Pirates have won 7 of the last 8. And Cheryl Lopez in the pitcher's circle against the 2010 winner, James Madison. And the first pitch swung on and missed by Flanza Hawkeye, the designated player, batting in the 6th spot for the Pirates, or for the Knights, rather.
You see Hawkeye right there going right into the slap. It's something that she's learning. Her coach tells us that she's trying to get better at slapping. It's an unusual swing for a slap. She runs into it. It actually doesn't count as a bunt. So she actually can do it on with 2 strikes.
Good thing it's not a bunt. It stays 0-2.
Absolutely, and you'll see her do it again. Now you see a lot more in softball that slap hitters are being breeded by teams. If you're a lefty, it's a natural position for them to be able to run and slap the ball. Third baseman is up, prepared for it.
Alonzo Hawkeye swings right through it, so she's down to start the second. What have you seen so far from Cheryl Lopez?
She's moving the ball all around. Right there, you see a screwball going outside. Makes it very hard for Flonza to hit the ball. She's throwing drops, risers, curveballs, screwballs, and changeups. This kid is moving the ball all around. She's throwing very well so far.
Garvey takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. Janelle Garvey, the third baseman, batting 7th for James Madison today. And she's now behind at 1-2. Transfer from St. Edmund Prep, and you could see she has that big, strong swing.
Yeah, she wants a hit right now. You see Lopez going right after her.
On the inside corner. So back-to-back Ks for Lopez to start the second, and she sits down Garvey looking.
Lopez is really settling in right there. She moves inside and actually throws a screwball on a righty, which is very unusual.
2 down. Here's Sam Rehill, and down she goes on strike 1.
Lopez starting to move fast. Coach calls timeout to slow the pitcher down. This is to mess with the pitcher's head. She feels like she's in a groove, doesn't want to stop, so police doesn't go out there.
Brian Friedman, 2006 James Madison graduate, played for Vidin Kayaza. He's a starting right-hander and then went on to Queens College. Here's the 0-1. Got a piece, trying to bunt, but it's 0-2 on Rehill.
She dropped her hands a little too far on that one. That's what got the pop-up motion to the back of the screen. Now she'll be swinging away on 0-2.
Trying to go inside. That was the pitch that retired Garvey. 1-2 on Rehill. Pitcher Cheyenne Tatasciore on deck for James Madison. 1-2, swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning for Cheryl Lopez. 4 Ks on the day. Middle of 2 on Staten Island. Lopez brings the heat. Tottenville coming to the plate in a scoreless game. Well, they've come to see Tottenville here on Staten Island. Now, why not? The Pirates at the top of the PSAL for so many years, and now facing Cheyenne Tatasciore, bottom of 2 in a scoreless game. It's Nyla Ramirez, the freshman first baseman, leading things off and taking a strike on the outside corner.
Ramirez is just pounding the ball so far. Over 500 this season so far. Not bad for a freshman.
Big cut. Served into shallow center, and Slavic able to get there and make the catch as Jerome was also going out. 1 down.
Slavic is truly showing her range right here. She is moving all over the field, running in, calling off Jerome, and making the catch.
Ashley Notaro stands in and takes a strike at the letters.
Tatasciore showing a little more pop on that pitch. Looks like she's settling in.
First inning faced 4 batters, 1 first pitch strike, and she gets ahead of Ramirez, and now it's 1-1 on Notaro.
Despite the fact that she's not throwing the first pitch strike, she is getting the outs.
Golfed into left, tough play on the run, and the catch is made by Muley. What a running grab. 2 down.
Outstanding, showing outstanding range in the outfield is Madison. Muley has to run far. Looks like it's going to drop in the gap, and all of a sudden she reaches for it, makes an amazing catch.
The senior is not in the lineup, but she is in the field.
And with good reason.
You said it.
This outfield is incredible.
Jillian Jouffre looks at strike one. So you look at the 5 outs recorded by Tottenville. Not one has been on the ground. That's defense right there. And Tadashore has to love it.
She definitely does. She's getting her back up right. She knows that she can throw the ball and it's going to be stopped by somebody in her field. That's the best compliment you can get from your team.
0-2. Now 1-2 on Jouffre.
Looks like she tried to throw the changeup there. As her coach said, she's still working on it. Just needs to get it up a little bit. She's releasing it too early.
Just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the number 7 hitter for Tottenville. Nicole Bellini looms on deck should Jouffre reach. Full count.
She's definitely trying to move the ball around. You know, she has the fastball, but the most important thing is where you put the fastball. Inside, outside, she's moving it around, seeing if the batter's going to bite.
In a foul ground, Husty will not get there. So Jouffre stays alive. Senior left fielder working her way into the lineup.
That is good hustle right there by Hosty and Di Pasquale, running over, just missing it under our camera.
In the shade on what's a perfect day for softball here in mid-April.
Oh, it feels like softball today for sure.
Fought off into center. Slavic this time barely has to move. 6 outs, all in the air. No runs coming across for Tottenville and 4 putouts for Slavic. On to the 3rd here on Staten Island. This was last year's city championship, and what a game it was, Carly. One that you'll never forget.
One of the best games I've ever seen, one of the best games I've ever called. 10 innings. Lopez didn't give up 1 run. And in the bottom of the 10th inning, right there, you see Madison beats out a play at first base, and she's going to come all the way home on this double. She's just going to keep running. You see Madison hustle, and beats out the play at the plate. Just an incredible ending to an incredible game.
7th city championship in the last 8 years after losing 1 year earlier in extras to Madison. Smiling group of Pirates and their head coach, Kathy Morano. One of the highlights in her 15 years. Lopez threw 132 pitches in that game last year. No runs, 3 hits, just about perfect.
And didn't show any signs of fatigue in 10 innings as she did. She was pitching the same in the 1st inning as she was in the 10th inning. It's just incredible.
Swing and a hard miss. So 1-1 in this matchup of pitchers. Tadashore at the plate, and there is Lopez. Golfed into shallow center. Casal is there to make the catch, and there's 1 down in the Madison 3rd. That'll bring up Di Pasquale, the top of the order for Madison.
We're seeing a lot of balls hit to center field today. A little bit of golfing. Picked the wrong sport. They're going for the lower pitches on both sides.
You watch Lopez, and we talked about how quickly she works, and at times Brian Friedman trying to slow her down, calling timeout. What do you make of the rhythm she gets in when she's going?
As soon as she starts, she can't stop. She starts getting, each pitch is working. She'll go from the drop to the curve to the screwball to the rise to the change, and she'll keep moving inside, outside. She and Police are on the same page. Police has been catching her for 3 years and knows how to call the game for her. So as long as she's in her rhythm, she's going to keep going, and that's what the coach is trying to stop.
2 balls and 1 strike on Di Pasquale, the leadoff hitter. So Lopez with 4 strikeouts. Otherwise, everything's been in the air. A lot of great contact in this game. There's been some terrific defense. The pitching has been relatively strong. And here's Di Pasquale trying to break through at 3-1. Count full.
After the game that I saw last year between them, I am not surprised that pitching and defense is what we're seeing right here.
Got a piece. The riser. DePasquale going down via the strikeout in the first to start the game, but hitting .591 at the top of the order.
That's what you want at the top of your order. You definitely want someone who can hit like that. You see Lopez a little frustrated with the rise ball right there going out of the strike zone. She knows it's one of the hardest pitches to lay off of, and in this case, DePasquale did.
It's as good as a hit, and she's on with one down here in the third. Slavic has been so active in center field in this game. Now is a hummer. And it's ball one.
See her go with the screwball right there. With Slavic, a lefty who's not afraid to slap. That's the only thing that's going to keep her from lining that ball into left field.
Slavic transferred from St. Francis Prep. Described as the hardest worker on the team. Swings and misses at the 2-0 pitch. Throw to second, in there, and down goes DePasquale trying to advance, and they're 2 down.
Just a bang-bang play right there. Police saw it all the way. Makes a strong throw right there. Boom, across the diamond to Reagan. Just a nice tag. Bang-bang play. Almost looked like they were trying to do a hit and run there, which you don't see that often in softball.
Base is now empty, 2 down. 2-2 on Slavic. Stays alive.
Slavic's going to be able to give you a little bit of everything. If she's able to slap and hit the ball, she really is going to be great for this team this year.
Strike 3. Down she goes looking. It's the 5th strikeout for Cheryl Lopez. 1-out walk. DePasquale a race trying to steal, and Lopez doing her part in the pitcher's circle. To the bottom of the 3rd. Pirates coming up in this a scoreless game in the PSAL. Scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Tottenville trying to answer. They'll have Bellini, Casal, and Police up against Cheyenne Tadashore, who's gotten a great lift from her outfield in the first 2 innings.
Tadashore's done a nice job keeping her pitch total down. She's only at 30 for the first 2 innings. It's impressive.
Sophomore Bellini stands in the dirt. Nicole Bellini hitting .273. When she gets on base, watch out. She's known for her speed at the bottom of the order. The 1-0 at the letters for a called strike.
I wouldn't put it past her. You see your third baseman, Garvey, is up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Bellini tried to lay one down for a base hit right here.
In the air, will it stay playable? Jerome on the run from short and runs out of real estate.
Cameraman made an excellent attempt on that one. He just reached his hand up, almost had it. Excellent job, Kyle. Nice job.
Mr. Hagan. Thumbs up. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. And that's the first strikeout for Cheyenne Tadashore.
She's really showing us now that she can move this fastball around. And I'm sorry, she went with the changeup on that one, and it just buckled Bellini right there. She wasn't expecting it, and watched it go by.
So from the upper part of the strike zone to the knees. 0-1 on Krista Casal, batting 9th. Very productive 9-hitter, hitting .625, but now behind 0-2.
This entire Tottenville lineup, top to bottom, has power and the ability to get on base. That's what's so impressive about them.
Casal playing in center. Moved over from right field. They really love her range and her speed in the outfield. And time called before the pitch.
Smart on her part. She wants to get Tadashore rattled a little bit, stop her right before she goes into her motion. At that point, she couldn't stop the throw, and the ball came in.
Out in front, Garvey calls everybody off, and she's there for the grab. 2 outs. Tatasciore has now retired 7 straight, and still no ground ball outs, and she's 1 out away from getting through 3.
She is throwing something that's got a backspin on it that's getting the Tottenville batters to pop up, and it works for her. They're not hitting it incredibly hard. They're hitting it in the infield, in the lower outfield, if you will, the shorter outfield. It's very impressive that she's moving this ball the way she is. She seems very confident out there.
Jen Palace is 0 for 1. The 0-1 is low. Lined out to Garvey at third to start the first inning. We'll talk to the head coach of James Madison, Brian Friedman, in the 4th. Count now 1-2 on Palace. First-year head coach at his alma mater.
You see him directing the infielders. 1 and 2, you're going to back everybody up.
Two balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter for Tottenville.
Police being very patient here. She teased bunt, but now she's going to be going for a base hit.
Hosty a couple of steps in at first. Line to third, and Garvey's there for another catch. So Palace has turned on it twice, both to Garvey, through 3, and not 1 ground ball out. But Shia Tatasciore will take it. She's kept the Pirates off the scoreboard. On to the 4th here in Staten Island. Top of the 4th on Staten Island. Tottenville and James Madison both scoreless. And let's talk to the head coach of the Knights. That is Brian Friedman. And Brian, Cheyenne Tatasciore scoreless through 3 and not 1 ground ball out. What can you say about the defense behind her?
Defense has been great. I mean, Victoria Slavic in center field has been taking charge and really just covering a whole lot of ground out there, more than I can even ask for. I'm sorry, let me just focus. Okay. Yeah, no ground ball is a little strange. We have one of the better infields that I've ever coached baseball or softball right now. So ground ball is our strength, actually. In fact, we haven't even used that yet. It'll come up at some point in the game.
Okay, Coach, now we have Gina Garone up here. She is your leader. Tell me what she gives you and what you're going to miss about her next year.
I can't worry about it. Well, she brings us so much leadership and the ability on the field in terms of ground balls, pop-up. She's calling everybody off. She's telling everybody what to do on the field. Offensively, we'll see what she does right here, but she's got a great swing. One of the best opposite field swings I've seen, actually. I know you guys like to compare her to Derek Jeter. She probably models herself a little bit after that with the inside-out swing.
Brian, we'll let you get back to work.
Thank you. I'm a little distracted.
1-1 the count on Gina Garone. Check swing. It's now 1-2. Kind of like the fact that he's locked in at the age of 23. Knows what's at stake.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's got to focus on what's important. Gina's a star. She's fantastic. She saw her fight off the riser right there. Now she's locked in. Got to fight for 1-2.
Lopez has her grip, and she has a strikeout using the inner half, and there's 1 down. 6 Ks for Lopez. Back-to-back ones looking.
See Lopez just moving that ball inside, throws a screwball and just handcuffs Jerome. Just like we got a tennis ball on the field. Wrong sport.
It's a yellow ball, just not as big as the one that they're playing with.
Close. Yeah, good.
Lopez facing Samantha Rodriguez. Came up a little bit high.
See what happens when they hit all the foul balls over there. This is what they get. We get
prime
a tense
territory.
It's a tough spot.
2-0 the count. Oh, right next to the tennis courts and basketball court. Footballs beyond left field. Sprawling complex here at Tottenville High. At the letters, 2-1. Some great sporting alums. Notably, Jason Marquis now at the Minnesota Twins. Here's the 2-1. Fought off. Foul to the right side. Now 2-2 on Samantha Rodriguez. She drew a walk in the top of the first. Best chance for the Lady Knights. They had 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. But Lopez buckled down and got the final out of the inning.
Lopez really has settled in since the first inning. She is just throwing that ball all over the place. You see the changeup just missing low. Rodriguez, such a good hitter that she lays off.
Payoff pitch on the ground and through. Past the second baseman, Nataro. Throw to first is not in time. So they almost got her from right, but Rodriguez beats it out. And she's on with a 1-out single here in the 4th.
That was an excellent attempt at Bellini, charging all the way. This is a very fast outfield, but Rodriguez hustling all the way down for a base hit.
1 on, 1 out. Hosty stands in, and a first pitch strike.
See Lopez just staring down Rodriguez at first base, saying, "Don't go anywhere."
Ooh.
High and tight on that riser. Got away from her. Again, with the riser, the humidity and the heat tends to slip away.
There's been some cold, there's been some warm, but today is hot, and certainly the first day of spring that's gone from nice weather to nice, but certainly hot and humid as well.
It feels like summer. It really does feel like we're playing a softball game in July, which many of these kids are used to, being on club teams.
Right down Broadway. Benny Hosty's 0 for 1, flight out to right field with that big opportunity with the 2 in scoring position in the first. But what a year, hitting .688. Lopez deals, swung on and missed. 7 strikeouts through 3 2/3. And with 2 outs in the 4th, that'll bring up Flonza Hawkeye.
That riser is just too hard to lay off. She digs down deep and that ball goes up. When that ball's coming in at you, it looks like a straight on fastball that you can crush, and it just rises above your eyes.
Hawkeye, one of the strikeout victims, went down in the second. Infield in at the corners, count now 0-2.
See Hawkeye trying to slap the ball down. It's an unusual stance. You're not trying to look for a line drive. You're actually, with this infield, trying to bang the ball down into the ground to bounce over the infielders.
Another strikeout for Lopez. 3 in the 4th, 8 for the game. Halfway through, still a scoreless contest. Strong pitching, Lopez, and on the other side, Cheyenne Tatasciore. We'll see her when we come back here on MSG Varsity. Cheyenne Tatasciore facing a key part of the Tottenville lineup here in the bottom of the 4th. Lopez, Felicetti, Regan, the 2 through 4 hitters. And now the pitcher against the pitcher.
Lopez is just as intense at the bat as she is on the mound.
Rodriguez from behind the plate, getting everybody set in the field. First pitch fouled off by Lopez, and the count is 0-1.
Just reaching for that one. She got a little over anxious, wanted to hit it out of the park, and swing at something she shouldn't have. So she see her step up a little bit in the batter's box.
1 ball and 1 strike. Lopez the only batter to reach for Tottenville. That was a 1-out single in the first. And that the matchup of these 2 pitchers, both very strong so far. Liner past Garvey as well as Jerome. And Lopez with her second hit. Second hit for the Pirates, and a nice way to start the 4th inning.
Looks like both Garvey and Jerome had a mitt on that when they both dove in opposite directions, and it just scooted through the 2 of them. That turf causing a little bit of problem as usual. Lopez just lines it. There's no chance for Garvey right there. Ball was just hit way too hard. Hear it on that bat.
See what Felicetti can do. Way upstairs. And onto second base goes Butchie Gross. Pinch running for Lopez.
Butchie-Gross had to be a little careful there. She only jogged and saw Rodriguez with the gun that she has had a chance at her. You always have to be running your hardest.
So Butcher-Gross at second. 1-0 count. Fake the bunt. In the air to center. Slavic, like she has all game long, tracks it down. That's her 5th putout here today. And there's one down for Tottenville.
She really is having a game. She is all over there in center field. She's covered as far as left field, right field, and she's come in quite a bit, almost as far as the infield. Showing her speed.
Here we are in the 4th inning. 1 out and not 1 ground ball out recorded by Madison, and we're still scoreless. Regan looks at ball 1.
That is a very unusual stat. It really is incredible that the ball has not been hit on the ground yet.
Terrific defense in the outfield. 2-0 count now. Lopez with the only 2 hits for Tottenville.
She's helping herself out.
Big time. There's Butchie-Gross running in her place. On the ground to short. Jerome looks at second, throws across, and there's the first ground ball out. Another throw to third, and Butchie-Gross sneaks in. So she's now at third base with 2 down. Nice play by Jerome. Did everything he could to look back the runner, but Butchie-Gross played it well on the bases.
Jerome really showing off her arm right there. She holds the runner as much as she can. That ball's deep in the hole. She looks her back, throws it across the diamond. Perfect throw across the diamond. But Hosty can't make it back to Garvey in time. Butchie-Gross is on third base, 2 outs.
Nyla Ramirez, the freshman, takes a strike just above the knees, 0-1.
Butcher-Gross better pay attention. Rodriguez is really looking back at Garvey, thinking about throwing it down. I used to love that look. That was my favorite thing when they weren't paying attention.
Popped up, Hosty. Rodriguez, she nearly ran through the dugout to get to that foul ball.
I love catchers. So aggressive. They got to throw up those hockey masks, which are new requirements. Well, not new since I've played. And they're very hard to get off. They kind of stick to your head.
The 0-2. Line into center. Base hit. Here comes Butchie-Gross. Now with 2 outs, Nyla Ramirez brings home the first run of the game. 1-0 Pirates here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
That was actually another outstanding play by Slavic. That ball was scorched up the middle. And if that ball gets by Slavic, you end up with Ramirez on second or third base. She cuts it off very, very nicely. But in the meantime, Butchie-Gross scores the first run of the game.
It is a foul ball. So 0-1 on Ashley Nataro. Ramirez with 2 strikes.
Nataro was very close on that one. If she had been hit outside the batter's box, she would have been called out, but you can't see the actual official box. Ooh, that was very close. It was called a foul ball. Rodriguez throwing that ball down. She is not afraid to throw it to any base. She has got a gun.
0-2 on Ashley Nataro with Ramirez on at first. Rodriguez looks her down once again. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See Ramirez not taking much of a lead anymore. 2 outs. She better be ready, though. The ball's hit. She's got to run.
Got a piece. Rodriguez couldn't hang on.
Just ahead of that one. Kind of threw Rodriguez off ever so slightly. Sometimes those are hard when the balls, she overswings at it and just misses it.
Nataro flied out her first time up. She strikes out this time around. Zatana Shore comes through with her 2nd K. Tottenville strikes first. 2 out RBI single for Nyla Ramirez. And on to the 5th we go. 1-0 Pirates. Cheryl Lopez back in the pitcher's circle, now with a run to work with. As for her performance, She has been dynamite in facing this Madison lineup.
She has been moving the ball all around. You see her riser there, screwball outside, another screwball. She's really mixing it up, trying to throw out with the riser, and of course the changeup, which is just ever so pretty. Everything is working for her today. 8 strikeouts, 74 total pitches. Just incredible.
No runs have come across, 2 hits. She's walked just 2. And she got that hit to start the 4th inning. Butchie Grassi scored the run, and that's why Tottenville has the 1-0 lead as we start the 5th. And Garvey starts off with a strike, 0-1 the count.
Showing the changeup mid-sequence there, an interesting choice of pitches. I'm seeing it a lot more now with these pitchers. Like to throw the batter off early.
Now, if you're Garvey, 1-2 count. Do you really know what's coming next, given what Lopez did to start this at bat?
I'd say riser all the way. She's blown it by her twice already. And there it is. Strike 3.
She has struck out a Madison batter 9 times, and there's 1 down here in the 5th.
Look at that riser. Just goes by. That's the 3rd riser. All 3 get by her. Just an incredible use of the riser in that sequence. Didn't mix it up. Threw 1 changeup in there. It didn't work, so she stuck with what was working for her. See the riser again right there.
1-1 on Sam Rehill. Lopez has her grip, and she has another strike. Not aware of the count. Rehill has one more stab at it. But the thought on Lopez is she's getting better and stronger, and she's got another K. 10 strikeouts through 4 2/3. She's struck out 4 in a row, and 5 of the last 6 batters she's faced.
She has really gotten in the groove. She's moving the ball around, as you said. Boy, 10 strikeouts now. She's not afraid of these batters. She knows she's got a run behind her now. She's ready to go. Let's end this game right now. That's how she feels.
On the ground, right back to Lopez. On to first. Breeze of a 1-2-3 5th inning. First ground ball out recorded by Lopez. 10 pitches in the 5th. Tottenville with the 1-0 lead, and coming up here in Staten Island. Middle of 5 here at Tottenville High School. Pirates leading James Madison 1-0. Big reason why, Cheryl Lopez. And let's talk about her with her head coach, Kathy Morano. Kathy, what has been the key so far for your pitcher here in the first 5 innings?
I think she's been moving the ball around well. Her riser seems to be working really well. So she just has to stay strong. She started off a little bit shaky, but then she settled down in the past few innings.
Now, Coach, do you let her and Police just do their thing, pick their pitches, and feel out what's working?
Yeah, Jen calls the game for us, you know, her and Cheryl, and whatever works. I mean, if we see something, we'll tell them when they come in, but for the most part, they're calling the game themselves.
Thanks, Kathy. Leading off here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Jillian Jouffre, and she's behind at 0-1. So the bottom 3 in the Pirates lineup, it's Jouffre, Bellini, and Casal here for the Pirates.
Jouffre was just ever so slightly ahead of that one. Looking to get things started right now, get a couple more runs on the board.
Flying out to center in her first at bat. Just below the knees. Cheyenne Tatasciore giving up a run on 2 hits in the 4th. The big blow was the 2-out RBI single for Nyla Ramirez. That's where we stand now in a 1-0 ball game.
Her saving grace is she's been keeping her pitch count low, still moving the ball around and keeping the Tottenville players off balance. And she's still learning. She's still very young.
Check swing. Jouffre thought about holding up. Instead, down she goes. The 3rd strikeout for Cheyenne Tatasciore.
Now that was
1 down.
Now I'm sorry. That was the changeup that worked. She hasn't been sure about her changeup all day, but she released it and threw Jouffre completely off balance. Gets only a check swing out of it in the 1st out. That's a good changeup.
Bellini, first pitch. Who's going to get there? It's Sam Rodriguez. So one pitch, another out. And the number 9 hitter, Krista Casal, will come up for Tottenville. Great to be with you from Staten Island. Ed Cohen and Carly Blake and our entire MSG varsity crew. This is a matchup with two of the city's best. Tottenville winners last year in extras. 2 years ago, it was James Madison that beat Tottenville in extra innings. So the reigning champs meeting here midway through the regular season. And pitching's been the story so far.
Just as it always has been with these two teams, the pitchers have always led the team, and the defense has backed them up. It's incredible how great these games are.
Think about Tottenville. Haven't lost a regular season game in the PSAL since 2006. That was the last year they lost one.
That's a long time.
Very long time.
6 years.
So long that the head coach of Madison
was still in high school.
At Madison.
That's incredible. You don't see that very often, especially now in high school sports.
2-out walk for Krista Casal. Just the first walk issued by Cheyenne Tatasciore. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Pirates of Tottenville. Trying to keep that run going in the regular season in the PSAL. And we'll check it in just a moment as Tatasciore is set to face Jen Police, the leadoff hitter. Lined over Garvey's head, a screamer down the left field line. Muley very quick to get it back in, and it's a 2-out single for Jen Police.
That was just smoke down the line. Police knocked it just on the inside of the foul line. Muley did an excellent job getting to that ball, but that was hit so hard Garvey didn't even see it go by her. Muley again makes a nice relay in there and keeps Casal at second base and Police at first. Got the coach talking it over here with Tatasciore. Just tell her to calm down. Use your fielders. Trust the players behind you. That's what our coach would ever say.
70 pitches right now. And what do you feel is the gist of that conversation, given that in the 4th inning, 2 outs, 2 strikes, Ramirez brought in the first run of the game?
You know, the coach is saying trust what works for you. Trust your fastball, move the ball around, and what's worked for you all game. You have great defenders behind you. They've been behind you all game, and that's what's going to keep you where you are. And that should bring her confidence back.
Lopez is 2 for 2. In the dirt.
She doesn't want to put Lopez on base. She's got to get the ball over the plate.
Jerome gets the force at third. So Gina Jerome gets the job done at shortstop. And Tatasciore escapes the jab in the 5th. Tottenville leaves 2, and we head to the 6th inning in a 1-0 game. One of the famed graduates here at Tottenville High School, Jason Marquis. There you see him with his family. Spring training this year in Florida with the Minnesota Twins. Jason led Tottenville to back-to-back city titles in 1995 and 1996. And you see him holding with his right arm his daughter, Reese. Well, a very interesting month for the Marquis family. His daughter was involved in a bike accident in which she severely injured her liver. And Jason had to rush back from spring training because there were life-threatening injuries. And they granted him a leave. It turned out that Reese was okay, but he spent more time with her. And actually, since he had minor league options, Carly, he was allowed to go to Double-A in New Britain, Connecticut, which isn't too far near Hartford, and go back and forth to see his daughter. He will make his debut this season on Wednesday in the Bronx, and he doesn't have to go far to face the Yankees.
No, not really. It's just down the road. But it'll be a great matchup. He's a great pitcher, and I'm a Yankee fan, so I kind of have to root for the Yankees. But it's a great story, and I'm glad his daughter's doing better.
We are rooting for Reese Marquis, and here we are in the 6th inning, a 1-0 game, and it's the top of the order. Brianna De Pasquale leading things off against the nearly unbeatable Cheryl Lopez. In the air near second, the shortstop, Regan, is there for the first out.
See a very vocal team out there. That's what you like to see. All the players screaming for the ball or telling you who should be getting the ball. And Regan calls everybody off, makes the play for the first out.
6 straight retired by Lopez. And on a check swing, Slavic in an 0-1 count.
Looks like Slavic was trying to throw Felicetti off, who's now she's moved up a little bit. She was back a little bit. She was trying to throw her off and throw the slap down there. Get on for a base hit.
She's 1 for 2. Swing and a hard miss. And now behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
Now with 2 strikes, you see Felicetti will back up a little bit. Not in the bunt position, not expecting the slap as much. Should be swinging away here.
The 0-2.
That was like a rise screwball. It was an unusual pitch. See everybody's backed up. Ramirez almost in line with the base.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Cheryl Lopez. 10 strikeouts in the pitcher circle for Tottenville. She has done so well against James Madison the last 2 years. Swing and a miss. 11 Ks and 2 down in the 6th.
Lopez here just goes back to what she knows, which is the screwball against a lefty. Very, very difficult to hit, and strikes out Slavic. Just outstanding right there. Only giving up 2 hits, 11 strikeouts, and just 2 walks.
Jerome fights it off down the right field line. Bellini makes the grab. So Lopez has done her part, but her defense backs her up in this one. 8 pitches in the 6th. Terrific defense by Bellini. Tottenville looking for some insurance right now. It's a 1-0 lead between these 2 city powers on Staten Island. Middle of 6 at Tottenville, and the Pirates holding on to a 1-0 lead over James Madison. A couple of famous judges attended James Madison, Midwood section of Brooklyn. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, U.S. Supreme Court Associate Justice, and Judge Judy. Everyone knows Judge Judy. Judges and senators. Charles Schumer of New York, Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Only school that has 2 active U.S. senators. James Madison in Brooklyn. Cheyenne Tatasciore in the pitcher's circle. Nicole Felicetti leads it off. And she leads it off with a foul ball. It's 0-1. Felicetti, Regan, Ramirez, the 3 through 5 hitters in the bottom of the 6th.
And Tatasciore showing right away that her changeup is working a little better. And Felicetti fouls it off at home plate. Excellent use of the changeup early in the count.
Line, foul. And we've seen Felicetti with that quick bat a couple of times here today.
She's got quick hands through the zone. She wants to get on base. It's so important between these 2 teams to get an insurance run. You really want to knock a few more on the board just to be safe. 1 run is never enough.
And they had to work hard for that 1 run in the 4th inning.
That they did. Both these teams are playing their hearts out, as they've done every meeting between the 2 of them. It's always exciting.
Cheyenne Tatasciore has given up 4 hits and a walk. 3 strikeouts on the day. Pirates got a 2-out RBI single from Nyla Ramirez in the 4th inning. 1-2's up high.
Looks like she tried to throw a rise ball on that one, or it slipped out of her hands, but she had the correct movement on it.
Felicetti holds up, so the count's full to start this 6th inning for Tottenville. Felicetti's 0 for 2. 2 flyouts to center.
Felicetti's going to be looking for a fastball right here to drive.
Payoff pitch, drives this one right at 3rd. Garvey's there for the stab. 3rd line out to Garvey in this game, and there's 1 down in the Pirates' 6th.
Garvey's had a heck of a game today at third base. She's had a lot of line drives heading at her, and she's taken everyone right into that big glove at third base.
One down, here's Regan. Tadashore delivers. Regan's 0 for 2, flied out to center in the first, grounded out to short in the fourth. But overall, pitching and defense has been the story today. Swing and a miss, pulled the string on it.
Both teams have just been incredible in the field, and our pitchers, Tadashore and Lopez, have been moving the ball all around and keeping these batters off balance. Batters that have quite the ability to hit for power.
2 balls and a strike on Regan. You look at her frame in the box. She's tall, swings a big bat, batting .625 entering today in the PSAL.
This is a kid who can take the ball out of the park. You see her fast hands. She's frustrated that she was ahead of that one. She just needs to sit back and let the ball come to her. She's got a lot of power.
.533 average last year. Key down the stretch in the playoffs, hitting .500, driving in 3 runs. Towards third. Did it hit Garvey's glove? They say no. It's a foul ball.
Beautiful line drive. If that had just hit the line, extra bases for sure. She gets her hands on that and turns on it. Garvey makes an excellent attempt at it. Actually almost gets it into her glove.
Stays 2-2. In the air this time. Yule in foul ground makes the catch. 2 outs for Tottenville in the 6th, and Yule, you have to involve her in the conversation. What's been a really strong performance from the Madison outfield.
Madison outfield has been all over this field today, making a lot of runs in, moving around. Now, that one, you see Mule going into foul territory. They really know how to move in on the ball and out on the ball, and made some great plays today and kept Tadashore right in this game.
First pitch into left. This time Mule can't handle it. 2-out single for Nyla Ramirez, her second hit of the day. And she's aboard for Ashley Nataro here in the 6th.
Ramirez, just a freshman, is the future of this team right here. She has hit some ropes today and just hits the heel of the glove of Mule. Keeps her to a single, though. That was just a rocket off the bat.
Nataro's 0 for 2. Fly out and a strikeout. So Ramirez has had the biggest hit so far today. And now she adds another one, trying to keep this inning going with Tottenville trying to pad their 1-0 lead. On the ground, up the middle, and through. Off the glove of Slavic. Ramirez not quick enough to burst towards third. Instead, it's a single. Everybody stays put. And they're 2 on for the Pirates here in the 6th.
Ramirez had an opportunity to move on that one. She hesitated ever so slightly when Slavic fumbled the ball. But that hesitance is she would have been thrown out of third base. She questioned her speed for just that millisecond, and she doesn't move up.
Giuffre, the batter. Ramirez at second base. It's Nataro at first. Tadashore in the dirt. Nataro got back before the throw from Rodriguez.
Excellent heads up by Rodriguez. She makes a great glove stop in the dirt. First of all, that ball goes past her, and you have 2 runners moving up into scoring position. She does not. She pump fakes once and then throws it down to Hosty and almost gets her on first base.
Hosty in foul ground, won't get there. That was the 90th pitch thrown by Cheyenne Tadashore.
One thing I love about softball pitchers is they can throw 90 pitches and keep going.
Yeah.
They have such an ability to continue to throw well over 100 pitches and not get tired. It's the motion that they have. They're able to continue on.
Why, if anything, it's more the mental aspect. Knowing that you have to continue doing what you're doing, it's more a barometer of how far you've gone.
True. I agree. I mean, you see in softball as opposed to baseball that has multiple pitchers, you know, your softball pitcher's going to go every single game.
In the air to center and through into the gap. One run's going to come home. That's Ramirez, and right behind her, Nataro. 2 out, 2-run double for Jillian Giuffre. 3 2-out hits, and Tottenville has their insurance. It's a 3-0 lead.
Just a rope off Giuffre's bat right there. Just splits the outfielders, Slavic and Mule, and the ball rolls all the way to the fence. She just gets the pitch right over the heart of the plate. You heard it in the bat, just the ping. And again, splits the outfielders. Slavic fumbles it ever so slightly, which gets Nataro all the way home. Excellent insurance right there. That's exactly what Lopez needed going into the 7th inning.
Don't worry about her. I got
Bellini stands in, runner at second base. 3-0 lead for the Pirates. And right down Broadway for strike one. So Cheyenne Tatasciore has been solid, but in the 4th and now the 6th, a couple of 2-out rallies for Tottenville have, relatively speaking, broken this game open, given the way Lopez has pitched.
Lopez has pitched incredible, but like I said, she needed that extra insurance run going into the 7th inning, and she's going to feel a lot more comfortable on the circle.
Ramirez, Nataro, Giuffre, all with hits, and Lopez has to be pleased. Bellini goes down on the change. So it's the 4th strikeout for Tatasciore. It ends the 6th, but it's a big one for Tottenville. 2 runs, 3 hits, all with 2 outs. They leave 1, and we head to the 7th. Lopez trying to seal the deal with a 3-0 lead. Cheryl Lopez, 2 hits, 11 Ks, and now a 3-0 lead for Tottenville. Defending city champs trying to close it out against Madison. And Lopez to face the 4 through 6 hitters. She's plowed down just about everyone in this one here today.
She's been incredible throughout. She was not rattled a little bit in the middle. She got a little bit of trouble in the beginning of the game, and since then she has been unstoppable.
Rodriguez trying to keep up. Counts 0-1. So Sam Rodriguez, Jenny Hosty, Flanza Hawkeye here in the 7th for Madison.
Lopez looks incredibly calm right now. All she sees is police. That's it.
Bouncer to short. Regan up with it. 1 down.
Regan showing her incredible arm at shortstop. Lets the ball come to her. Bounces right into her glove. Across the diamond for the 1st out of the inning.
Now this will happen when you strike out 11. That was the 2nd ground ball out through 6 1/3 innings.
Yeah, you don't need ground balls when you strike them out.
Right down the middle.
Just reach back and put a little extra on that one. You could hear the pop in Police's glove.
Hosty's 0 for 2. She flied out to right to end the 1st. Went down swinging in the 4th.
1-1 out of 6.
Wanted to challenge Hosty right there, going inside on her. Now she's going to take a second, calm herself down, go back to the pitch that's been working for her best.
2-1. Got a piece, but right to Miss Lopez. Tottenville's 1 out away from locking up this real key midseason affair against Madison. And the batter will be Flanza Hawkeye against Lopez. They'll go to the bench. Danielle Mule, who's been playing in left, will assume the spot of Hawkeye, who is the designated player. Starts her off with a first pitch strike.
Mule's had a strong season. She's hitting over 400. She's got 2 RBI. She's got the ability to give you some power.
100 pitches. 0-2 the count. She's 1 strike away from closing the door. 10 straight retired. Fouled away. So Mule alive, if barely.
Now Lopez right here, she's going to go with what's worked for her all day with 2 strikes, and that's the riser or the changeup. Just blow it by her.
11 Ks already. Fouled away by Muley. Stays alive at 0-2.
Just got a piece of that rise ball right there. Just didn't get high enough out of the strike zone. Muley's a tall target.
Tottenville trying to get to 6-0 in the PSAL. Strike 3. 12 strikeouts in a brilliant performance by Cheryl Lopez. She retires the last 11 of the game. And the Pirates, with a run in the 4th and 2 insurance runs in the 6th, win this one over Madison 3-0. And it all started and stopped with their pitching and their defense. Defending champs, winners here in Staten Island. And Lopez, the story this afternoon. Muley to end it. 12 Ks on the day, and the Pirates victorious. We'll talk to him when we come back. The defending city champs do it again here in the regular season against Madison. Tottenville winners this afternoon by a 3-0 final. Welcome back. Great pitching, great defense, and some timely hits. That was the story for the Pirates.
Without a doubt, this team was incredible and at the right time. Ramirez,
yes,
big hit, absolutely at the right time, and 3-0 is the final.
Let's talk about that first timely hit. Nyla Ramirez, it's the 4th inning. There are 2 outs. You have 2 strikes against you. Take us through that at bat.
Yeah, I knew that I had to get the person on 3rd and then, just focus on what I had to do. Did what I did.
Now we're watching that highlight right now. You're facing a pitcher in Cheyenne Tatashaw who is really starting to gain her rhythm. 2 outs, and you come through with that big hit to give your pitcher a little bit to work with.
Yeah, like I said, just got to focus on what you got to do and just get in the zone.
Nyla, you're a freshman. You've heard about this rivalry. What was it like to take part in it for the first time?
It was exciting. I've been looking forward to playing this team, and just fun to have fun and do what you have to do.
How big a victory is this for Tottenville, given that it's the middle of the season, you remain undefeated, and you know where you stand against one of the best teams in the city?
Yeah, it's a big win for us. Like, we got really excited, and we knew that we had to work together.
Lastly, what can you say about the performance of your pitcher, Cheryl Lopez, today?
She did a good job. She did what she had to do. She got 12 strikeouts, did very good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nyla Ramirez, the key hit in this one today, but of course there was the pitching and the strikeouts, and that was all Cheryl Lopez.
Oh, Cheryl Lopez, 12 strikeouts, only gave up 2 hits. First, tell me what was working best for you today.
My screwball. My changeup wasn't working very well, so I just stuck with what works for me, which is my screwball.
How do you manage to keep hitters so off balance? You move the ball around so much. How do you keep hitters so off balance?
Definitely changing speeds. I did a lot of movement, more spinning than speed to me. A lot of inside and outside because they weren't hitting it.
But you were also showing in a little extra power. You throw in your fastball. What makes you and your catcher mix it up like that?
Because they expect like the same speed, and then as soon as they start catching up to it, you got to change speeds, throw them off, and keep them off balance, and that's what's really key as a pitcher.
And how do you go about approaching teams with such power like Madison?
You definitely can't underestimate them. We've won in the past, but there's nothing you can do. But you definitely have to go into it focused and looking to win.
Cheryl Lopez, excellent job today. Thank you so much.
She retired the last 11 that she faced, the strikeouts and the defense all behind her. It added up to a win today, and the 2 insurance runs in the 6th inning, don't count that out as well.
No, that was incredible. You always need insurance runs, especially against a team like Madison, and they really did an amazing job. Jeffrey hit it just at the right time.
This Tottenville team hasn't lost in the regular season in the PSAL since 2006, and that run continues here today on Staten Island. We'd like to thank the head coach of the Pirates, Kathy Morano, first-year head coach of James Madison, Brian Friedman. This is first Tottenville game. His team put up a great performance, but it was short as Tottenville wins it 3-0. Great to be here on Staten Island, a beautiful spring day. For Carly Brake and our entire MSG Varsity crew, I'm Ed Cohen. The Pirates stay undefeated, now 6-0 in PSAL play. Good night from Staten Island.